myself, I've lived in Edmonton most of my life. I'm a huge transit geek. I take the bus even when I don't have to. I've always been a supporter and a fighter for the underdog. I probably got that growing up. I was the youngest of four. This is back in the 70s when bullying was just like getting picked on, so it was kind of like a sport. And as you know, crap rolls downhill, so when you're the youngest, you get a lot of it. So I learned to advocate for myself, I learned to fight back, I learned to stick up for myself, and then I adopted that later on in life, being able to stick up for and advocate and fight for other people that maybe didn't have a strong voice, other underdogs in society, whether it be workers, whether it be women, whether it be children, whether it be animals and the environment. I'm all in for fighting for the underdog.
Well, that kind of explains a little bit why you're running for president, but are there any other reasons why you'd be running for president?
I'm running for president because I believe that I can do the job and I can make it better. I've got the experience working with people, I can understand the issues, I connect the dots from the little issues to the big issues. I believe that I can bring people together through organization and concentrate on how we can tackle all of the issues that we need to tackle, who are the right people to do those jobs, and then just do it. It's all about work. We just got to get down to work. It's just plain old-fashioned elbow grease. I believe that I'm qualified because throughout my entire adult life, whether working in media or being a small business owner, working for nonprofit organizations, I've been working on the issues that all interconnect, whether it be social justice, labor rights, environmental issues. All of these things interconnect. The common denominator that we have is on the one side, there are corporate interests that are trying to take control of the public sphere. They're trying to drive down wages and generally make things miserable for people and the planet. On the other side, you've got people right from the grassroots, Indigenous people, women, children, workers, all of the poor, the working poor, even the middle class. All these people are working to try and improve our lives. At the same time, we have to fight against powers that be that want to make our lives even more difficult. So it's this constant struggle between good and evil, if you will. And I've been on the side of good. I want to continue to be on the side of good. I've got the passion, I've got the commitment, I've got the work ethic, I've got the experience, and I've got the drive to get the job done. The absolute first thing that I would do is organize. Now, what I mean by that is I would bring together all of the elected executive board members, all of the elected shop stewards, other shop stewards, and other people in the union that aren't yet involved, that have a strong passion for improving our conditions. I would bring everybody together and we would chart out simply what our priorities are. First step. Second step would be to identify who amongst us wants to work on each of those different priorities. And then we get to work. We chart out how are we going to solve these issues? Who is going to be working on these issues? How much time is it going to take? What are the steps that we have to take? And then just keep working on it. Now, expanding from that organization on the first part, we need to organize throughout the entire membership. So that means talking to every single person within our union, whether it be a dispatcher, a scheduler, a fleet service personnel, a transit peace officer, the cleaners in the garage, everybody. Of course, the bus operators. Get everybody involved, everybody on the same page, find out who it is that's most excited to be involved in the union and activate them. Find out who is kind of on the fence, they can take it or leave it, and talk to them. Through education and through discussion of the issues, people are going to become more aware, they're going to become more motivated, more interested to get involved, and then ask people to be involved. People want to help out. They want to improve their own situation in life. So provide them an opportunity to get involved and then encourage people to use their voice. Instead of shutting down voices undemocratically and putting people out of social discussions, let's include all of those voices so that we can be stronger together. My number one priority is organization. And through that, we're going to tackle the big number one priorities for the entire union. So just to back up, we can't work on any of these issues without a strong base. So that's first and foremost. We get the people together that are ready and willing and capable to work on the issues, and we start to work on that. Now, the big issues that we need to get to work on immediately, obviously, are our contract, getting a fair and equitable contract for all of our workers. The second top priority that we need to work on and constantly be focused on is privatization. Stopping the further privatization of our Edmonton transit system and fighting back and earning back the work that has been privatized out for the last several decades, whether that be the new P3 Valley line running from Millwoods to downtown currently, whether it be DATS buses being privatized through Prestige Cabs, doing work that our operators could be doing, whether it be contracted work out from the garage, fixing the buses or installing shields, or any of a number of other tasks, even the cleaners. We used to do our own in-house cleaning, not only for our transit stations and our garages, but also bus shelters, that type of thing, and that was all privatized out. Let's bring that back into the system and build a stronger union and keep those jobs here, because as you know, James, when working people are making a good wage, they're going to be spending that money in their community, and it's not only going to improve their personal lives, it's going to improve the civic life for everybody.
Oh, and the community, absolutely.
Yeah. So when that money gets contracted out, right, it's going to a corporation whose shareholders may or may not be living in our community, right? That profit's got to go someplace else. We keep the money where the money's being made, where the money's being needed, and we put it to work. I believe that there is that strong connection, whether it be in our own neighborhood here, people that I don't work with or whatever, but these are our neighbors, right? So just working together, building up community at the very base community level with the neighbors, that expands out to the city, the province, the country, and around the world. And this is the kind of work that I've done my whole adult life, bringing people together around common issues from diverse backgrounds and diverse perspectives and diverse places in the world, and being able to tackle these issues. Now, I'm not familiar with the exact story you speak of this bus going out for contracted work, but I have heard other similar stories of work being contracted out from Fleet Service. It goes out, the job is done, and then it comes back to the garage, and our own men and women have to redo that work. So you're right, we're paying double, maybe even more, because we don't really know the full numbers, and that's something that I hope to work on. That's something that I will be working on, is gaining access and ensuring that we have clear and transparent answers to everything that is related to our jobs, our union, and Edmonton Public Transit. Right now, it's a little bit ambiguous on how to get those numbers. Granted, I haven't been in a position of power before, so I'm going to concentrate on that. So that my fellow workers, my union brothers and sisters, we all have the information, the public has the information, we can make informed choices, and I believe that with the right information, we're able to make the proper choice, keep transit public, scale back the contracting out and the privatization that's been happening in the past, and invest that money into our community, not into another contractor that's going to take it to pay their shareholders. I agree. It's totally important. And with regards and respect to having pride in our jobs, I have a lot of pride in my job. I know that many other people also take a lot of pride in their jobs, but more importantly, it's my responsibility to do my job well, as it is the Fleet Services, as is every other member and anyone that's doing their job. It's my responsibility. We're carrying around a lot of precious cargo every day throughout the streets of the city of Edmonton. So we're carrying around all this precious cargo, the people of the city of Edmonton that we're carrying around. Moms with kids, seniors, newcomers, students, people commuting to work. All these people as precious cargo that we're responsible for, that the mechanics are responsible for, that the schedules are responsible for, the dispatchers, the bus operators like myself, even the cleaners, we all play a part in keeping this together for the public. Now, here's the thing. If something goes wrong out on the road, the people that are responsible are the ones that are going to take the hit for that. So it's up to me as an operator to ensure I'm communicating fully with Fleet Services should any issues come up on the bus. And it's their responsibility to ensure that they're doing the best job that they can so that they've got the safest equipment going out, because it's their job on the line and it's their reputation on the line. And this is where I think it really hurts. It hurts my pride knowing that the City of Edmonton would even contemplate contracting out to a private organization the job that I do and my union brothers and sisters do for our neighbors, for our family, for our citizens in the City of Edmonton. I can't imagine what kind of a hit it would be to the ego of a Fleet Services mechanic who's doing work on a bus, and then that bus gets sent out and sent back and he's got to redo that work. Not only is it frustrating because he's got to do the work twice, but it's like, why not just let me do that work? The city spent a lot of money hiring good people, training good people to do a good job. Let us do that job. I do believe that I could, and the track record would clearly show that I can. I've been working together with a variety of different executive board members since I started with ETS and with ATU 569 8 years ago, a variety of supervisors. What I've learned in my life through doing a variety of work, whether it be media or community organizing, running my own business, is that everybody is the same, right? We got to find a way to communicate on common issues. Yeah, there's going to be personality conflicts and people might have different agendas and coming from different directions, etc. But when it comes right down to it, we have no choice but to work together. Now, there's a lot of professional examples, but bringing it back to the personal, which I think a lot of people will relate to, and quite frankly, I'm a little bit shy sharing this. I'm a divorced guy, right? I'm a single dad. I got a couple boys, right? I was in a wonderful relationship that turned out to be not so wonderful, right? And a lot of people that have been through divorce or different relationship strife in their life, it's not a picnic, let me tell you, right? There's going to be a lot of disagreement, a lot of fighting. It can be quite toxic. However, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, me and my ex-wife were still able to communicate with one another around the common important issues, which are our children, right? We put aside our differences. What are we really focusing on? What is the most important thing for us to be collaborating on? And the most important thing that is our kids. So extrapolating that towards a union position as president, right? There's going to be people that are going to disagree. We might fight. We might have different perspectives. We might have personality conflicts, right? We might even piss each other off once in a while to extreme. There might be words exchanged, but whatever, right? We get by that. We're human beings. We find the common issues that we want to work on together, and we get down to work. Right? And we do that through honest and open communication. Yeah, so working and getting along with others. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's my goal. Have I been successful doing it in the past? Yes, I have. Has there been issues that have come up that's created friction? Absolutely. But one thing that another operator had commented about me says, Kelly, you know what I like about you? I said, no, Sean, tell me what you like about me, please. He said, Kelly, you're like a bulldog. You grab onto something and you're going to keep going on it and keep going on it and keep going on it. I said, yeah, absolutely. If something is important, it needs to be continually dealt with. If one particular strategy isn't getting any actionable results, then we change strategies a little bit. We come at it from another angle. We bring in some other people. We offer different perspectives, right? I've had supervisors that have told me, Kelly, you know what? You're bringing these problems forward to us, but why? But what about the solutions? I said, well, first of all, yeah, I'm bringing a lot of problems forward, and that's part of the thing that you hired us to do, is to be the eyes and ears out there, right? To advocate and to share with you what we see as an issue that are going to affect productivity, are going to affect worker health and safety, public service, etc., etc. But what I wanted to emphasize to the supervisor is that not only have I brought solutions forward to the table and to the meeting and to the union hall, But I've also worked on those solutions, and I've worked together with other people, and I've canvassed the membership. I've talked to other supervisors. I've done the research. I've read the OHS. I've been talking to other people outside of our union, right? And we're talking about best practices. So it's a little bit of a corporate jargony term, and maybe our transit boss might use that to justify privatization, but I want to flip the script on the best practices and adopt the best practices that are working for the people, for the workers, for the unions, not only in North America, but around the world. And then we can bring those best practices in, we can adopt them, we can work on them, we can make them our own and make them work for us, and then improve on that again. Like, why not? It's 2020. Let's grow, let's improve, let's make it as best as that we can. 110 years in this union, and we still got a whole bunch of issues. I say, enough's enough. Yeah, I'm impatient, but let's get it done. What are we waiting for? Thanks, James. That's an excellent question. I think that's what people look for in a president. How can we improve things? How can we make it stronger? I believe, firstly, through organization, right? I harp on that again and again and again. Reaching out to the membership one by one, day after day, charting out where people are at, because I believe every individual has a right to respect and have their issues heard and have them dealt with, right? It's not about cherry picking what important issues are, or maybe telling a member that, geez, you're the only one that's got this problem. How could it possibly be a problem? Well, you know what? If one person has a problem, then it's a problem. And I can guarantee you that one person with that problem, they're not alone. There's a lot of people with issues that maybe they're not talking about them. Maybe they're stuck in their own head thinking, maybe I'm the only one that has this problem, because maybe my supervisor told me that I was the only one that has this problem. Or maybe someone else, when I tried to share that problem with them, they belittled me and they isolated me and they told me, don't worry about it, suck it up, like, it's not a problem, right? Like, let's get through it. But you know what? Every problem is an issue. I like hearkening back to an old International Workers of the World slogan. Well, this is like over 100 years ago. An injury to one is an injury to all. And this circles back again to my campaign on workplace safety. And this is a very disheartening thing for me to hear from executive board members, even the president, that, Kelly, you're the only one that's talking about this problem. It can't possibly be a problem. And that sort of shut me down. And I thought, oh, maybe I am. Like, am I crazy? And you know what? I did the research. And in fact, this is one of the tactics that people will use to gaslight you, right? Whether they're doing it consciously or unconsciously. So by isolating you and saying, James, that problem that you have, it's imaginary, right? You're the only one that has that problem. It's not a real thing. That's going to make you doubt yourself, right? And it doesn't have a good impact on your quality of mental health at all. So how do we make it stronger? How do we make it better? What do we do for the individuals with those problems? Well, we listen to them. It's quite simple, right? Through open and transparent communication, we listen to the problems, and then we determine, well, what can we do about this issue, right? There's a lot of mechanisms in place through law. We've got a tremendous amount of talent throughout our union that can work on these issues. We've got lawyers and academics and teachers and other professionals and engineers.
And healthcare. Even healthcare is involved in that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this all ties together, right? Throughout, I guess it ties together past our own union, ATU 569, and it grows into other sectors of our economy, right? Whether it be health, whether it be education, other public sector issues like delivering service like electricity and water, and even security and police, etc. All these issues tied together. And what we're seeing right now in the climate of Alberta under its current provincial government, similar to what we see in Ontario and maybe other jurisdictions. I won't. Sorry, got a little Trump stuck in my throat there. It was disturbing.
Okay.
But what we're seeing is that there's been a decades-long attack on people, on the public sector, on our public money. This money is getting siphoned to the top. It's not some fantasy conspiracy theory. This is documented fact that corporations have been after the public sector for decades. Transportation, health, education, water, prisons, security, etc. It just goes on and on and on. what's happening here in Edmonton is not unique. We've got the P3 Valley Line going from Mill Woods to downtown for a mere $200 million that Prime Minister Stephen Harper promised our city for that project. He said, well, we'll give you $200 million, but you got to make it a P3 project. So it's a public-private partnership. Now that sounds lovely, right? If you're not really paying attention. But what it means is that the public pays for it, the private gets to operate it at a guaranteed profit, and in the case of the Valley Line, P3, it's a secret contract. So we don't even get to know how much money these guys are going to make for the next 25 or 30 years. But one thing is for sure, the people of the city of Edmonton, we get to hold on to the liability, right? We get to pick up the pieces, we have to repair it when it's broken, and we got to pay for it again and again and again. So let's keep it public. Let's keep the fight going to protect people, not only here in Edmonton, but around the world. Let's connect the dots, right? Because your issue that maybe somebody told you was insignificant, this tiny little issue, I guarantee you we can make that connection to the massive, grand issues. So it's not just about us working together within ATU, but it's about us working together with other unions, with other sectors of society, with people everywhere. And this, I believe, is one of my huge strengths, is that I can see that big picture and I can bring together the people in all these different categories. So yeah, the money aspect, and that's going to come up because that's a big thing that we have to work on, right? Immediately. We're without a contract right now. We got to get that contract. Now our employer, the City of Edmonton, which is you and I, we're the public, we're the shareholders of that corporation, right? So we have to compel them to respect us and the work that we do for the people of Edmonton to be treated fairly. So it's not just a matter of getting a raise or getting more benefits. It's about respecting the workplace. It's about getting back things that we've already lost in between contracts. And it's about ensuring that all of the issues that you and I and all of my union brothers and sisters have brought forward to the executive to negotiate on, it's about ensuring those issues get negotiated, that we don't leave things off the table, and we keep working at it, and we remind them that we, ATU 569, we're the backbone of this city for 110 and maintaining the buses and the trains in this city since day one. And we're the ones, we know what we're doing, we're qualified, we're skilled, we give excellent service, and we deserve to be treated fairly, and that's what I'm going to fight for.